Throw Gang, we are joined by the Pharaoh, the Fish Hook,
Got no grills in today, though.
Lauren Schlossman. Look up Hobie Buchanan. Let me know what you think.
Is that
and myself, the baby blue big dog, James Harris. Welcome to the weekly Running the Boys, with today's full episode only available on
Pornhub.com/what Buchanan?
Hobie Buchanan.
So that's a porn star.
yes, big fish hooker,
Male or female?
male.
Oh.
Yeah,
How's
check him
his, how's his penis?
out. It's not necessarily memorable. It's more the fish hooking. Where
So
anytime I see a photo of you now doing this, which is every photo of you that you repost, post, whatever,
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh yeah, he's getting fucked from behind really roughly
So-
by Hobie.
So to be clear, it's not that his penis is shaped like a fish hook. That's just his signature move.
His signature move is to, or not, I don't know if it's a signature move, but it's a frequent, it's an oft used move of his.
Utilized maneuver.
Is to
finish him.
maybe he's showing off these
Finish her.
Maybe he's showing off these young women's grills. You know, I don't know.
Do any of them have grills in your research?
None yet. Maybe he's doing the thing you did where you were fish hooking to the wrong side, and the grills are on the right, and you're fish hooking to the left.
The grills, because both front teeth are involved, I would say that they do count for both sides of my mouth technically,
Pause.
even if they are weighted to the left. With that said, when you have your arm around your boy and that's on the fish hook grill side, what are you supposed to do? Block his face and show off the grills? No,
Don't fish hook.
no, you just fish hook from the left,
All right.
from the right.
Before we get into boomers embarrassing the fuck out of themselves for 2.5 hours, which is awesome, the fallacy of Tribeca, and the joys of wedding shopping with your boy. Let's get into a fit check.
Wedding suit shopping, right?
I mean, there's so much more to a suit than just, no, not necessarily.
What would wedding shopping be? Shopping for a bride from abroad?
Yeah, maybe. How does she fish hook?
Yeah. Is she amenable to a fish hook? Why don't you start off the fit check, bruh?
All right. Wearing Kiko Asics. Fuck.
I had these on the other day.
I know. The GT 2160s
Yeah.
in the nice Joker colorway. The socks are just random plain white socks from Amazon. The fatigues are from Hollywood Ranch Market in Tokyo. I love. So I've been watching Baby Reindeer, right? Have you watched it?
I finished it,
I put on Fitties for best show of the year, or potential best show of the year.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not done with it yet. And
Okay.
people love it. It's the most watched Netflix show.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
since like Squid Game, maybe even has surpassed it.
Yeah.
Um,
You're right. It should be on there.
One of the things that I get hit on or hit up for the most is like, yo, Tokyo Rex. And I love just being like, there's a guide on the Patreon.
Yeah. For sure.
And Hollywood Ranch Market is in there. The mesh shirt is Stussy.
Wait, what does that
Mon.
have to do with the baby reindeer?
Oh, just like constantly getting hit up for the one,
Oh.
you know, with like,
all the emails.
yeah,
So you're being stalked and harassed for Tokyo Rex.
sent from my iPhone for sure. The baby blue shirt is motherfucking Pen. Shout out to Gordon Hugo of
Chew.
MF Pen. The hat is from Tomorrow Shop Vintage, the New York Magazine. Shout out Matthew Schneier.
What about
Vox Media.
your Wagwan tea?
I said Stussy Mon.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Bodman.
Yes, the juicy Stussy Mon.
It's a Bodman ting.
Straight from the yard, man. The jewelry is Bottega. The diamond earring is Maria Tash, sipping on a DP and Lower Side's Finest. And the sunglasses are Sun Buddies. Lawrence, what are you wearing?
Dude, you're going turbo, and I already feel fucking crazy. We've had a pretty wild morning trying to like do some flight related stuff.
My flight related stuff was easy. I hit 3 buttons and I was done. You need to fucking get your household in order, bro.
Can I ask the throw gang to weigh in on something?
Sure. Is this going to make
Should-
complicate your flight even
No.
more so?
Should I be added as an authorized user to our corporate American Express card so I can also get Delta miles?
Yeah, if you can figure it out, go ahead.
I tried to, and it wouldn't give me the permission. I have to ask Shogun. I got to ask Daddy.
How do I do it?
I don't know. Well, we could do it after this. We have a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah,
still.
if you make a purchase, whether it's a 4 a.m. Uber home from a personal
My bad.
obligation, then yeah, you should get those miles.
Today,
I don't see why. I don't see. It's weird that your purchases,
all go to your Sky Miles account.
that's really strange.
I know.
That's really strange. But you're also the guy that was like, oh, yo, the agency booked us flights. We can't book them. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I go in the app and I upgrade myself immediately.
No, I mean, I was just going based off you being like, yo, we're going to have to ask them to go through a travel agency because that's who booked them originally. I was just going based on what you had mentioned over text. So
Oh, okay.
it was honestly, I'm so happy we could do it ourselves.
Did you figure it out? Because that was like 20 minutes of like
We are
calling, texting,
we are
emailing.
we are both in Delta One. Oh, we're going to
I'm not,
Pity
I'm
Uomo.
not. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you and your wife figuring your shit out.
Well, we have our own SkyMiles card, but I like
Your own system of booking flights, which takes 45 minutes.
not 45 minutes.
Sorry, I'm being condescending.
No. It's totally fine. I'm just saying, like, I feel fucking really wired.
Why? Nothing happened.
I don't know.
Is it the Celsius?
I guess I'm just so excited for your first Pity Uomo.
Is it the Zin? It's the Zins.
Dude, honestly, I think that there is no better person to shepherd you on the journey of going to your first Pity Uomo than me.
Well, I'm
The inventor of hashtag menswear.
I know. You're like, yo, dude, I'm stressed. Like, what am I gonna wear to Pity Uomo? What are you gonna wear to Pity Uomo? I was like, bro, clothes.
It's
Like,
going to be hot, too.
I don't. So I'll wear shorts and a t-shirt, and that's
Yeah.
fine. Boat shoes. And I'm like, we need to figure out like a bunch of other shit.
We really
besides
do.
just what am I gonna wear? Okay.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
People talk about how do you divvy up the work, right? Is it, you get paid 50-50, it's the whole thing. Let's do this. You take that pretty little small head
Yeah.
that's covered in metal and worry about what you're gonna wear.
Okay.
That's all you gotta worry about. All right.
Oh, nice.
Deal?
Thanks, bro.
I'll do everything else.
Okay. Also, I will say, because of our differences in personalities, like imagine I was like for example, right? We're also going to go to Milan. We have no lodging, right?
No.
So imagine I was like, yo, I got that. Would you trust me to get?
Absolutely not.
Right. So it's not like,
Because you're either gonna like
Okay.
put us up in something that's way out of our budget,
Right.
or we're gonna be in the fucking Il Bando, like on the outskirts of Milano, fucking. I don't know what bed bugs are there. I'm sure like we're gonna have like bed langoustines.
Trappioli, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna be in the
Il
Trappioli
Trappioli.
in Il Bando. Like
Okay.
the fucking
All right.
Gomorrah. We're gonna be sold
Oh,
to
dude,
Gomorrah.
we'll be like, you're like, why'd you book us in Naples? We're
Yeah.
supposed to be at
Yeah.
Milan Fashion
You're like,
Week,
no,
bro.
don't worry, bro. Don't worry. I know what I'm gonna wear though. I'm like, all right.
I will say, like, as someone who is going to be going through Naples when I do my vacation portion of the trip, I've got like a lot of bad intel from Italians, and maybe not like people specifically that are what is it?
Napoleon.
Is that
Napolese?
Napolese?
Napolete?
But like everyone's like, yo, dude, it's like, well, I'm not gonna do their voice, but it's like, it's a dangerous. Take off at the Rolex. Make sure your wife will wear no jewelry.
Well,
and I'm
remember-
like, nah, it's not.
our guy from Petse, bro.
Well, and Enrico. And I'm like, yo, these guys are hating on their own fuck. It would be like if someone was like, oh, I'm going to New Jersey. And I was like, yo, be careful, dude.
I mean, there's some parts of Jersey you don't want to fucking mess around.
Patterson.
Exactly.
Okay.
Heroin capital of the world, baby.
Is it?
I think so.
Hmm.
That's what EE was telling us when we drove through with
That's
him.
the home of the women's shelter that my mom volunteers at.
Nice.
Yeah, she's a great one.
I
She's
was
a great
really
lady. She'll make
confused as-
another. She'll make another appearance later. That is very funny.
I was really interested in where that sentence was going to go. That's the battered women's shelter that my
Okay.
mother volunteers at.
Oh,
Thank God. Thank God I
I
went
see what you're
there.
saying. Also, I don't
I
think
would have
it's,
been fucking on site for Bill.
also like
Defend Mitzi at all costs.
So I think
Mindy?
Mindy.
Mindy. Defend
Mitzi is Michael's dead
That's your
name.
That's your transgender grandmother's dead name.
All right, I guess I should give it. It's the Oasis, and it's a haven for women and children.
Nice.
That's a proper name. Shout out fucking Mindy.
When we were in our fundraising era, before it was cool.
It's still cool, by the way.
Yeah. No, now it is cool, but it always was cool.
Right, that's what I'm trying to say.
We raised money. One of the places we donated money or sent some money to was a battered women's shelter in Poughkeepsie that I volunteered at in college.
Nice.
And I'm blanking on the name, but shout out them.
Shout out them. Don't spend it all in one place.
Yeah. I'm not going to drop the address because
Don't spend it all on one face.
they keep the address secret for obvious reasons. All right.
Okay. I am
What are you talking
wearing-
about? Oh, what are you wearing?
So I am wearing Salmon Amo City Mocks.
Not boat shoes.
So that's what I tell myself because there's no 360-degree lacing system that these are a moccasin. I mean, they call them
looks like a mock.
City
Looks-
Mocks. Yeah. With that said, very much a boat shoe by any other name. Are you going to go to their trunk show? I think they're here Memorial Day weekend. If you're listening and you want to fucking check out and meet some new stock homies, these guys fucking rock.
Yeah, the shit is good. It's very expensive. Someone made an appointment. I was like, hey, do you want to come with me? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Just check it out. Just touch cloth.
Yeah.
Love touching cloth. Love the retail experience. Am I going to buy anything? No. Because I can't afford anything necessarily. And I'm not fucking out here commenting on every Instagram photo thirsting over some free shoes. That's for damn sure.
Well, it's more of like my way of saying thank you because I already got the free shoes. Maybe
how do you ask for them?
Do you actually want to know about how the strategy worked on the new stock homies?
What the new what the 2024 strategy is.
So when the City Mock came across my desk and I was like, I need these, and they were sold out at the time and they were recently restocked and they're already selling out again. This seems like of the fake boat shoe trend that is the only like micro niche trend that has even really happened in our world at all. This is a Cadillac of boat shoes, right? So when they came across
it's the cigarette boat of boat shoes.
Yeah, dude, fast.
What's the boat that like JFK, all your fucking your fellow
like the wood guy, like that?
Yeah, like the Italian shit.
I don't know. Do you think there's a name for it? They're just like super fancy, right? They're like it's the vintage Land Rover fucking of boats, dude.
It's I looked up JFK boat and it's telling me his boat that he was in World War II.
Oh, like cause he served.
Yo, the PT 109 sick.
Well, it's not because like sailboats are what I would associate with JFK, if I'm being totally frank. With like Paul Newman, at the Venice Film Festival, that's what
this is like a type of boat.
Yeah, what is that called?
A Rest of Us. This ain't for the rest of us. I'll tell you that fucking much. It's a wooden speedboat. Tap in if you're a boatsman.
All right. So this is from the mind of a John's addicted cheap bastard. This is what I did. First order of business, follow the brand.
The Chris Craft boats.
Chris Craft?
According to A Continuous Lean.
Oh, shit. Shout out Michael.
Just the type of blog to write about fucking boats.
Honestly, straight up.
Aren't for the rest of us.
Yeah.
The barrel backs.
All right, so this is
apparently a model. Anyway, sorry.
Fish hooks, barrel backs. These are all new fucking moves, dude.
No.
All right, so this is what I did. First order of business, you follow the brand.
Yeah.
Second order of business. There's a lot of stuff that's being promoted on their grid, but I had this.
When did you follow?
This is now probably like 2 or 3 months ago.
Did you see that I was already following? Because I was like,
oh no,
I did. Whoa, you do? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Instagram is like, Instagram is, I had been familiar. I just like, we've talked about it before. We don't follow like a ton of brands that we don't have like personal relations with because it's like, what is the point? This is not one of those. Their fucking imagery and inspiration is beautiful. So there's a lot of stuff happening on the grid because they do a ton of like made to measure suiting, which is spectacular and probably out of our price range. But what I did was I strategically liked every single picture that featured City Mocks.
Wow. Subtle.
Very subtle. And then from there, you get the follow back. You get a DM float. They were familiar with us through the Lagace homies.
Mm-hmm.
And we're fans of the show. And then from there, it's just being gracious.
May I please have some
humble.
shoes?
Well, no, you never beg.
Mocks for your mans?
You know me, it's like, oh man, I really, really, really want these, but they're sold out. I can't get them.
Oh, I tried so hard.
Oh, shucks.
I tried so hard.
I was not even aware that this that they had made like I don't know if it's their first foray into footwear. I didn't even know if they were out before they were already gone and fucking done and dusted at that point. So
but you tried so hard to get them and they just happen to be sold out.
I'm just being honest. All right.
Yeah, now you are.
Moving on up. I have on, I think these are John Elliott socks. The big ass.
Dog, if you'd gone Game Mozart with these, I would have fucking.
I did yesterday.
All right.
Yeah.
With the grill?
With the grill.
Oh, sick.
The shorts are Colbo. What is the name of these shorts?
I forget. I have the brown ones that I was wearing yesterday. And they're great. They're fucking flowy. They're long. Are they like past your knee? I guess I could look at the fit pic.
Yeah. I mean, I could do a little twirl for the audience.
A little past your knee, yeah. In the nice queen with honestly little like camel undertones in there under the light. Love to see it.
Yeah, we talked about how there's no back pockets, but you know what? There are back pleats.
Yeah, wow.
These have fucking.
That's crazy.
These have 6 pleats, dude.
Wow.
If you make your way around the circumference of the fucking waistband. Okay, moving on
please.
Up. I am wearing a Palace CK1 Pleaser.
What's the belt?
Oh, the belt is Maximum Henry. The shirt, we kind of match today
know.
unintentionally. This is Vintage Armani from U-Mall.
Oh, sick.
Shout out Gerald.
Who
Shout out
was
fucking
who
Kate.
was the vendor?
This was Gerald's.
Okay.
Yeah. I have on a Moonburger hat. Shout out DJ White Privilege. Little approval matrix sighting. And yo, he got a good placement.
Smack dab in the middle of lowbrow and brilliant. The only good quadrant. My one qualm is, and this is, I think, well, I guess they took, I think Time Out and New York Mag have written about. So Moonburger's opening up a location in Williamsburg this summer. It's going to be fucking madness.
It's going to be a fucking movie.
Don't worry, I got you. I got you. We'll
Skip the line privileges?
As an investor.
I was going to say,
as an investor, I will try to find my lifetime VIP 30% off card or whatever it is. I'm upset that, New York Mag, why are you calling it the Allison Roman backed Moonburger? It should be called the James Harris backed Moonburger.
Also, by the way, I didn't know that was public because I believe when we potted with AR, there was
careful now. Careful.
What?
You're about to say something that.
No, but I'm saying, so that's public information is her involvement.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's great. What a team. So we got fucking DJ White Privilege on the 1s and 2s running the operation, right? Then we got fucking...
He's hitting the aux heavy.
Then we got the genius of AR. And then we have you for some reason. What do you bring to the table as an investor?
Money. Money.
What else?
Yeah. That's
what
it.
else?
Look,
there's no sweat equity. You did bread equity.
Any advice or constructive criticism? Water off a duck's ass. My boy Anoop Pilarsetti is involved. He was involved in the menu development, I believe. Daniel Epstein was involved in the design and... My girl, Danny.
Oh, right.
She works at home studio.
No relation to Jeffrey.
That I know of.
Check the logs. No, shout out Danielle.
But do you know her?
Yeah, I've met her before.
Okay. She did all the design and
great fucking branding.
Naomi from Naomi.
Yep.
Not going to say her last name because I'm going to fuck it up again and call her Naomi Osaka.
But it is New York Nico's fiance.
Oh, is that how you define women these days?
No, but I'm saying they just
did
they did a whole thing for Essence as soon to be newlyweds.
The Black Magazine? I guess New York Nico is Puerto Rican.
Essence with 2 S's.
She did
in front.
Sense. She did the branding and the logos and a lot of the visual language. So it is a lot of good people involved. And yeah, coming to Williamsburg, I think this July. Smack dab in the lowbrow, brilliant quadrant. But again,
is that our quadrant?
I'm waiting for New York Magazine to start referring it properly to not just James Harris, but the boys. Because all of us have a little fucking piece.
Backed by the boys.
Yeah, just like Hobie Buchanan, fish hooking Larry.
I think throwing fits would be defined as lowbrow and brilliant, right?
Well, it's lowbrow, highbrow, then brilliant and like cringe or just like despicable. Yeah.
Maybe we're lowbrow and redacted.
I tried to do a matrix of all my boys.
Oh, really? That's cute. For what?
Well,
yeah, dude.
So I tried to do like...
Can I peep?
It's not finished yet. So someone did one that... Someone did goth. It was like goth jock.
Okay.
And I forget. I did a matrix where the vertical is bro dweeb.
Ooh.
And then the horizontal is sweetheart to dick.
Where am I?
You're not on here.
No,
because this is my boys. Oh, where are you?
Well, we know where you're gonna fall. Fucking dick.
Yeah, I'm dick bro. I'm a bro dick.
So I'm saying, okay. I wasn't being presumptuous. I was saying based on this criteria, where would you place me?
Bro. Well,
sweetheart.
Where would I place you, or where do I think you should be placed?
Oh, both. This should get real condescending. Okay, where do you think the idea?
I think in the bro sweetheart.
That's
quadrant.
The idea of Larry, and then where do you put Lawrence?
Well, I wouldn't call you a dick externally.
You do all the time.
No, not like you're not like a mean. You're like a meanie.
Like externally meaning like publicly on mic.
I think you're not a meanie. I think you're just very like self-involved.
Self-obsessed, self-absorbed.
Yeah, which is not necessarily on this, but I think you protrude or you serve bro, sweetheart bro.
Okay.
Definitely more towards the center of sweetheart dick, but definitely
neither of us are
as far away from dweeb as possible.
I was gonna say you and I are not fucking dweebs, dude.
Yeah.
Damn, which one of your friends are you gonna dweeb out?
My boy Chris, which he agreed with. And then look, I drew this is us having a catch.
Oh yeah.
So if anyone wants to pause and zoom in, it's right there.
That's tight, dude. Shout out all the fucking Vassar boys, dude.
Shout out the boys.
Okay, I'm wearing. I wore Thistle shades as well, rolling on the wrist.
I mean, as well. Oh, you're continuing with your fit check.
Yeah,
That was
I
somebody's.
think. Is there anything else to say about Moonburger?
No. Sorry. When you said thistles as well, I thought you meant like because I'm wearing thistles, but I'm not.
Oh, what were your sunglasses?
Somebody's.
Okay,
The Malmomies. The
yeah.
Malmomies.
Fucking, that was like a really good Swedish chef from the Muppets. Because obviously, you know, that's not considered a racist caricature, right? It's pretty accurate.
Well, when people are coming for Emily Oberg's neck, they cited that as one of the examples of racism on our show. Where I'm like, they're
What?
fucking Swedes, bro. You can't be racist against Swedes.
Can't be racist against white Europeans.
You can be prejudiced against them.
Yes, of course. And we are.
Yeah. What a stupid language.
All right, the sunglasses were thistles. The rollies on the wrist. Wedding ring is on the fingy. The white is on the pinky. Chrome on the other hand. LES's finest in the hydro. We got 6 milli spearmint Zin. Oh, okay. So a lot of people reached out based on the bad intel I got from this bodega in Soho. It's not that peppermint 6 milligram is getting discontinued. There is a general shortage of Zin, not just because it is having a moment. There was a fire at the Zin factory.
Holy shit.
And this was confirmed to me by a listener of the show.
Where is the Zin factory? In the
heaven.
the Uyghur region of China?
Yeah, right? I honestly don't know. Yeah, where do they make Zins? I assumed it was farm to table, dude.
Where is the Zin factory?
Yeah. There might be multiple, right? But one of them.
There is one in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Ooh.
That makes sense.
Right next to the bourbon.
Yeah. There's one in Sweden, one in Kentucky.
Yeah.
The Me to Kentucky pipeline.
That's
baby.
the cultural exchange that the show fucking represents.
Exactly. Do you think that...
Well, no, we have a listener of the show whose brother works for Zin.
Okay.
So he informed me about the fire. And, by the way, prayers up for everyone that works at the Zin factory.
Yeah.
You guys are the ones that keep this podcast in this country running, dude.
Well, yeah.
Did you see how it's being marketed? Or like there was the Post article about how it's like the gas station Ozempic?
Ozempic.
Right. But like, which is a great pun that, did they come up with that? Was that their like one of their good headlines?
I don't know, but I will say I have a buddy, the guy that I'm having a catch with on the Matrix. And I didn't realize this because I see him quite often, right?
Chris.
But someone else saw him and they're like, "Oh my God, Chris, you lost so much weight. What's your secret?" And he's one of the OG Zinners.
Yeah. A born Zinner.
He's a Zinfidel for sure. And he's like, "Yeah, Zins. Like it's an appetite suppressant."
100%.
right?
Dude, that Nick, when that Nick kicks, bro, you're not trying to eat a single Moonburger patty.
I absolutely think that Zin has like altered your entire psyche and like
for the worst?
Yeah,
For the
like the
better?
Turbo Larry, I think is like, the edge between Turbo Larry is but a hair, and I think thanks to Zin. But whatever.
So I've gone full Fury Road.
No, not necessarily.
Oh. It's my guzzling. And also when you pair it with Mexican Adderall
And
and,
the Celsius, Jesus Christ, bro. You need to.
I hope everyone at home thinks that I look good because I am killing my body.
I would
look
love
good
to
in
see you.
Fitbits.
I would love we should set a baseline. Like
Yeah.
you should understand what baseline Larry is. You should come in one day, or I guess take a few days off so your body kind of acclimates. But you should maybe. So we pod on Mondays. You can't not get fucked up on the weekend, can you? When was the last weekend you didn't drink? Did you ever have one? Since you're like 6?
Did I ever have one? I will say that there was a period of time where I thought like I was intentionally like scaling back my social life pretty recently when it was like, honestly, it's like when it's cold and shitty out.
When did
like,
that happen?
When it's cold and shitty out, you know?
Sure.
But now that it's nice, bro, now that it's shorts weather, I have been going pretty, like I feel like there's stuff where normally I would be the one that's like, I'm not going, I'm being lazy. I want to watch 3 movies. I want to order Chinese food or whatever. Where it's now, it's like, you're the one I feel like that I'm like doing the social duties for both of us. It feels like
They're not duties. They're not.
Okay,
you don't
sorry.
have to do them.
You're right. Duties is the wrong word. The social, not even obligation, the social opportunities.
Sure.
Opportunity.
But I think that we record on Mondays. Let's say you do take a weekend off. Impossible, I know. But I think it'd be if you stop taking Celsius, Zins, smoking, everything, just flush your system clean, and came in on Monday, what would baseline Larry look like?
I don't know,
When
that
you're
would be-
not zinned up. I mean, because right now I'm not talking about booze. I'm not talking about anything else
no.
except for like caffeine and nicotine.
Yeah. Should
What
we
would
do it
that-
for next Monday? I'm trying to think
If
if I
you're
have any-
interested in it, like,
I wonder
and
if I have
again,
any plans this weekend. Let me see. Let me check the
it's
calendar.
Memorial Day weekend, so you're going to
Oh, never mind.
the Outer Banks or some shit.
Wrightsville Beach.
You're going to
in,
the
in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yeah, you're gonna be like in Tobacco City.
Well, I won't be smoking. I'm telling you.
Sorry, Nicotine City.
I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to lie to the people that I haven't had a cheeky dart here or there. Like I definitely had one this weekend at the Mildred / Mildred Vintage 7-year anniversary.
Nice. Congrats,
block
boys.
party. Yeah, congrats to the fucking fellas. Love you guys. But yeah, dude. I mean, cigs are not really a factor in my life anymore.
Well, that's great because, Zins, there's nothing wrong with those.
I'm a little worried about like what research will come out in like 5 years about what it does to your gums and your teeth.
Look, there's never been something that gets people addicted that's bad for them, right? Actually, has there ever been something that's like addicted that is like not bad for you?
Jones.
No, it's bad
The
for you.
fellas podcasting. I could go on. So much good
I
shit.
felt like exercise, but I guess like people do take it to extremes where it's like exercise bulimia. But yeah,
Well, a lot of ex-addicts, right, replace the endorphins and whatever serotonin, I don't even know, whatever they get from some type of, substance, chemical abuse with, the kind of similar
but
results you get
don't
from
need to be-
exercise.
you don't need to be an addict to become addicted to exercise.
Are you
necessarily.
addicted to tennis and the
No.
feeling you get? Oh, no.
No.
Oh, well, actually, let me make a note because there was a funny moment when we talk about the Evan Canary show.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what else? Is there anything?
What else are you wearing? What else are you consuming?
That's it. Oh,
okay.
I'm wearing Brady brand on the cock and
nice.
balls because
Cool.
I got some laundry to do.
Nice. Today was a fun day. Today was a fun morning. I don't know, maybe this because you were wired, but we unveiled a new content
Oh, right.
property in the Throwing Fits media empire.
Monday
the Monday Musings.
I was trying to
So much I love it.
double up with you there. Yeah, the people made it very clear that they want blogging, they want newsletters, they want recs.
And I think it's like interesting because it's like, this is stuff that we can't necessarily talk about in Boys Only. I mean, but it's like related, right? Like we're going to talk about this Neil Young concert that I went to, but at the same time, I can't like share like one of my favorite Neil Young live performance videos with you on the podcast.
Right.
But in this format, in this medium, we can do whatever the fuck we want and
Yeah.
share whatever we want in a more like kind of like, Reader's Digest, media diet, link dump type of way.
Yeah, I think it's like the way that I kind of set it up, and I don't know if you agree with this, but it's like there's a lot of shit that we love that's not John's related, and it's like those things wouldn't necessarily make it into the dumper.
Right.
Like a fucking song or a fucking article or
The one book you
a
read
comedy
in 5
special.
years, Heat 2.
So Heat 2 is coming with me to Europe.
I know.
But
Gallagher told me.
But for Memorial Day,
Was it with you last year in Europe?
Mhm.
Oh my goodness.
I gotta finish it, dude.
Yeah.
Mainly-
You have to before the movie comes out.
I was gonna say the reason I have been reinvigorated to finally finish Heat 2 is because as the cast begins to be announced and it goes into production, I want to know like what I'm getting myself into.
Gallagher said it like he could finish it in like 5 hours. It's just a page turner. The writing's really bad, but it just propels forward.
As a bro sweetheart, I got a lot of priorities that are above reading,
What
like
else?
a dweeb dickhead.
What else? Well, I thought dweeb was kind of like it's like fucks doesn't fuck, but not like literally, like this guy fucks.
like Chad Virgin, basically.
kind of, yeah.
Dweeb is we should bring back dweeb.
Dork.
That a dweeb and a dork are kind of different because like a dork, there is this inherent like, oh, they're smart. Whereas a dweeb, you don't need to be smart to be a fucking dweeb. Like a nerd and a dork are, I would say, interchangeable, right?
Okay, yeah. I guess dweeb is like further along the the dummy side of the spectrum.
Anyway, what I wanted to ask you is,
Yeah.
what do you think about? And I used Unfrosted as this kind of example in today's inaugural Monday Musings. The anti-rec, the not fuck with, is that like?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I just thought it was like we were talking about it, and I was like, oh, I think I'm going to do this, that, and this. And you're like, oh, cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that, this, and this. I was like, you watch Unfrosted? And you're like, yeah,
The whole
it was
thing.
the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen. I was like, why do you watch it? Or why do you complete it? Right?
well,
was my
and
question.
I kind of like threw that to the audience. I wonder if anyone will like tap in with whether or not they fired it up and completed it. I was enraptured in dog shit. I couldn't. I was like, I can't believe this. It's the most boomer coded, extended, terrible SNL skit of a movie that like you would think is like SpawnCon, but it's not, dude.
but
It's-
Don Draper is back.
that clip like went viral as like, or whatever, they released that to like, I guess, drum up interest before the movie actually dropped. And I remember I watched it. I'm like, this is the tone. This is what we're doing.
I guess I just don't get.
Yeah.
Here's the difference.
It's a waste of time.
The difference between me and you is if I'm like, oh, I don't like this, I'll turn it off and don't feel the compulsion to have to finish it or see it through. But I'm like that with books where it's like I really struggle with, even if I don't like a book, I like have to finish it, or I find it very shameful and I'll like hide it if I like don't have like started the book and like cannot bring myself to finish it.
Would you say you're a voracious reader?
I try to do one book a month.
That's really fucking good, dude.
It's okay. But like I'm getting bogged down now with like it's the first nonfiction book I've done in a minute. I talked about this and I should honestly
baseball book?
Yeah, it's called The New York Game by Kevin Baker. It's just like a nonfiction book. The subject gets repetitive.
Right.
A lot of names, a lot of like proper nouns. Where I'm just like, I'm spinning. I'm like, wait, who's that guy again? And he did what with who? Like, one of those. So I'm kind of getting bogged down. I'm not going to lie.
Jenna had to like learn how to like not finish books as well. And she like overcame that kind of hurdle, mainly to just like get to like more and better books. Cause she's someone that, I don't know, she probably reads a fucking more than a book a week because she reads like pretty, I think, fun, fast page turner type stuff versus like, nonfiction tomes about the history of New York City and baseball.
Well, that's why I stay away from that stuff because you can get bogged down like fucking like in quicksand.
So I am curious if people want like anti-Rex. And I did.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think the fuck with, not fuck with, like that's something that was like a pillar of the program that like fell by the wayside. And I think like it's not like we fucked up, but this is a way to maybe like bring it back in a different way that is interesting.
And again, it's just like little thoughts. I threw a recipe in there because I was like,
yo, everyone loved that recipe.
Like they made it?
No, it seemed like of everything, like of all the tunes and books and articles and video, like it was comedy special. Connor O'Malley gets 2 fucking slots in the inaugural fucking Monday Music, which are deserved, by the way. The recipe seemed to pique the most people's interest.
Happy to hear that. Stay tuned for more from Jimmy's Kitchen. But I don't know. It's also just like I went on this food pod on this platform called Taste. It was my second time back on Friday, and I think it's coming out next month. But
can't wait.
He was like, "What's your favorite cookbook?" And I was like, "I don't fucking cook from cookbooks. Like I understand their value and they're very beautiful objects and photography and the writing and the enthusiasm in a cookbook is contagious, right? Like." If someone is like reading it is almost like as joyful as actually consuming the recipes themselves. But yeah, I tried to just, I don't know, do it in a way where I'm just like as easy as possible and it all fit on like one phone screen. So you just take a screenshot, just try it. And yeah, if you try it, let me know if you like it.
I have a favorite cookbook.
What's that?
It's Meals for Working Moms. And
what's that?
My mom, it was a staple in our household. And it's just like the worst, most easy recipes for women that just they're out there fucking, they're breadwinning and they don't have time to serve bread to their children. So it's like, here's a wagon wheel Southwestern casserole. No one in my family can cook besides my brother, like straight up.
Because he's gay.
No, that's not what I meant at all. It was a hobby of his for a while that he kind of like fell out of, but he was nice on the sticks when he was putting work in the laboratory.
My mom once got me a cookbook when I was in college. I think she was like, "Oh, James is a piece of shit. Like whatever, he's lazy. He's da, da, da." I don't know what to get him. She got me a cookbook called "A Man, a Can, and a Microwave."
Wow!
And I was like, "That is how pathetic do you think I am?"
She thought you were a damn hobo.
I didn't use it.
Wait, so you just heat up like baked beans?
I don't know. I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's helpful. I'm sure it's helpful for like guys that are learning to cook and don't have the time and don't have the funds to like get like fresh ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's just like, yeah, beans, some like herbs, throw it in the fucking microwave. Right. I don't know. And then
a can, a microwave.
Yeah, I never used it. I just made like personal pizzas for like the 1 year in college that I had a kitchen.
What was your personal pizza brand, like a frozen pizza? What's your number one?
No, like get a pita, throw a bunch of shit on it, pop in the oven, 20 minutes.
I'm a Celeste, that brand Celeste pizza. That's my number one. Love them.
You ever had the Barstool frozen pizza?
No. Have you ever had Yachty's frozen pizza?
Remember that?
Oh, what? No. I mean, I don't really eat frozen pizza as an adult anymore.
I know.
Though sometimes like a frozen pizza, if you're a little kind of hits diffy, dude.
Sure. Just get Domino's though.
Anyway, Monday Musings is live. I don't know how often these are going to come out. I don't know how often James is going to whip up a recipe. This is your picture, by the way. This is like you.
Yeah, it's from my phone.
Dude, it
yeah.
looks fucking spectacular.
Thanks.
I
I
thought
mean,
it might
it's-
be like a stock image. It was so good.
No, it's just, I mean, the green pops, you know?
Crispy smashed potatoes with a chimichurri sauce. Well done. Can
Honestly-
you only do recipes where you can do a pun on your name?
Yeah. You know, an Easter jam, an Easter James. No, that doesn't work.
Yeah, what else?
I don't know. We don't have to make this happen.
Instead of or you could just do like a homemade Slim Jim.
Yeah.
Some cured meats.
Just dry some meat at 200 degrees in your oven.
Yeah, basically.
Make a stick.
Anyway, I hope you guys like it. We're going to be doing a lot more of this stuff. We have been keeping notes so that we always have kind of fresh, tasty, piping hot recs for the friends at home.
Musings. Because not
Musings.
necessarily Rex,
Oh,
right? Like,
we hate Rex.
Like
anti-Rex.
like Godfather 2, like that's not a wreck. Like, you know,
I thought you were going to shit on it.
no, I rewatched it. And I was like, what a picture.
Do you like? Do you prefer the flashback stuff with De Niro, or do you like the kind of Fredo v. Michael?
I kind of forgot that there wasn't that much De Niro flashbacks.
There's enough. He
No,
won,
but
he,
I
he
always
won
thought
an
that-
Oscar for Best Supporting Actor.
I know. I always thought that there's more.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think that I've ever really watched it like all the way through. And I didn't even this time. I watched it over the course of like 4 nights because
Oh, but you
unlike
still
someone I
finished
know, I
it.
can't fucking devote 2-3 hours. What movie did you watch after Unfrosted?
Let me check the letterbox. Did you know that what's interesting, and the people at home might know this, fellow cinephiles, certified cinephiles. Heat was really billed and marketed as the first time that Pacino and De Niro ever shared a scene together, because obviously they're both in The
they never
Godfather 2, but they play guys alive in completely different fucking decades.
Michael.
Okay, so Unfrosted, the double feature that day was, I watched Heat that night.
I have a friend, I'm not going to say who,
Okay.
they were like, dude, I stumbled upon Lawrence's Letterboxd. What the fuck? Like they were blown away at
Oh, you
how
wanna
many
see-
movies
let's-
you watch.
let's see-
I
let's
don't
see.
want to see the list. I don't want to know the
No,
list.
you don't want to know the number of where I'm at this year?
I don't because it'll make me really upset.
Okay, I won't tell you that it's 132. You've told me who this friend was. I think you mentioned this to me.
No, this happened like 2 days ago.
Oh, another. So more people are shocked and appalled.
Yeah.
How many days have there been in the year? That's the question. Are we at a movie a day? Am I gonna finally?
We are
achieve-
166.
No, 132.
We're at 200. Oh wait,
What?
there are 226 remaining days
That doesn't help me. I can't do math.
I know 365 minus.
Let's go, Dweeb.
So there's been 139 days. So you're at a movie plus a day. That is fucking pathetic. I hate that.
But when we go to Europe, I'm gonna fall behind. That's what's gonna be pathetic, because I'm not gonna achieve my goal.
that's insane, bro.
That's what I do.
Crazy. No, what do you mean that's what you do? All right, I'm gonna give you more work. That's what I'm gonna do.
Dude,
How about that?
like, you gave me the musings. Fucking whip that up. How many typos were there? Fuck,
lot.
my bad, guys.
A
There
lot.
wasn't a lot.
A lot.
There was like 3.
No, there were like 3 in the recipe alone.
But no, those were just missing dashes.
That's
dude.
a typo.
That's a formatting error.
Typo.
I am, of both of us, I think only one of us achieved the
You did
peak
have a
of the
picture book.
masthead.
You did have a picture book.
I
That's
am
true.
a published author. We talk about this with our guest this week, which is W. David Marks.
I know. Look, we're 40 minutes in.
Holy shit. We've just
we
been
should stop. We should
riffing.
get into the pod.
Okay. How was Neil Young?
Bro, I went to the Neil Young show at Forest Hill Stadium with my pops, with Jimmy Sr., that's not his name. And it fucking ruled. And like, when Prince died, I was so bummed.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I was so bummed because like, fuck, like I never, talk about self-centering yourself. I never got to see him live.
Mhm.
Right. And so now as touring becomes like the main way for artists to make money, I've kind of been like, you know what? If there's a legend, if one of my goats, like one of my little Mount
Mhm.
Rushmore musicians is playing live, like I have to go see them, or at least like try.
What's face value on those ticks?
Those were, what a coach question. So I saw Bruce Springsteen last summer,
Mhm.
right? Incredible at MetLife. When Neil was coming around, and I've never been to Forest Hills. It's an okay location, but it's very like intimate. It's kind of like, it's like
The venue.
a few thousand, maybe over 10,000, but it felt very close. And we were very close.
Who ripped harder, the boss or Neil? If you had to compare guns ahead.
I mean, Bruce, because Bruce was like, it was like a really, I mean,
He did an Eras tour, right?
exactly. And it's like, it's night and day, right? Where everything Bruce does is like choreographed, it's polished, like, you know, what's going to happen. It's night after night after night. What I've always loved about Crazy Horse is that he doesn't pick, and we talked about this with our boy Zeph, because he knows
Yeah.
the newest member, Crazy Horse, is Willie Nelson's son.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to my dad about this, and I realized that this is kind of like what I love about Neil, and kind of like what I don't know, approach in life is like he doesn't pick like the most polished. Like a lot of studio musicians and like musicians are like big act musicians. They don't like Crazy Horse because they're like, oh, they always miss notes.
Yeah,
they're always like
shred
off
too
beat a little
hard.
bit. They're not like they don't have their shit together, and it's like no, but that's like why Neil likes them because they're just like in it and they're just like going
They're shredding in the moment
exactly.
with no regard for notes or human life.
Uncle Neil fucking ripped, even though there was a few times when the power like blew out, like the sound blew out, but he still like kept going, did like a little jig. Okay, so he was great. I loved it. It was awesome. Great father-son night. Great scene, like bucket list moment for sure. What
You had never seen him live before?
I've seen him once before.
Okay.
But it was a weird, like it was like a one-person solo show. It was when he was in this like kind of weird like art project moment where his wife was like painting off to the side.
Oh no, I don't like
And
that.
then they would like show the painting after like this, he played the song. It was weird.
That does
It's at
not
this, like-
sound fun.
It was at this kind of sick theater venue in Washington Heights, but again, like super small and intimate. But
Let's do
anyway.
a scene report, dude. Hit me with the deets.
So the craziest part was literally being, and like we were like, you know, me and my dad were like, we splurged because it's like, I was like, yo, this is gonna be, he's 78, like this is it. So we splurged. We got like,
That's Neil, not your dad.
yeah, we were like 10, 15 rows back.
Yeah.
Row N, I don't know what that is, 12. But the crowd was the most like boomer ass fucking, like
Yeah.
thousands upon thousands of boomers.
Everyone who watched Unfrosted with me.
It was like wild. And like, I'm not a big concert guy because I hate people like holding their phones up and fucking, I can't necessarily lose myself in the moment and I can't like dance because I'm always just like a little self-conscious. I was a little like, always just like, I wish I was like, you know, not sitting behind the tall guy, whatever, not sitting behind the tall guy, whatever. This was fucking crazy. First of all, I think that if Hims was smart, they would like just live stream like the view from the back of the audience
to
where
make
it's just like,
everyone self-conscious.
yo, everyone start taking your pills now because you don't want to end up like these fucks.
Right.
Every single boomer was filming horizontally with their flash on.
Damn.
And they're like, you know, so like all you see, and like I'm looking at their phones, all you see is like the bald head in front of them. Like you can't even see Neil Young or Crazy Horse because like they're just getting the foreground with the flash.
Yeah.
One guy was like, he couldn't figure out how to get the back camera. So he's filming with the selfie camera, but he's not filming himself. He has to turn around and film. If you're Neil Young, he's filming you with the front of his phone.
He just doesn't understand how it works.
And one guy in front of him, like I literally saw, because these people are taking like 4-minute videos. I'm like, what are you doing? Right? It's 15 seconds less for IG, maybe more. Are you looking up your flight emails?
No, I'm just laughing at more boomer behavior from my mom. It doesn't have to do with Neil Young, but I do want to mention it at some point.
One dude, like this was maybe the craziest thing was he's like filming, and then all of a sudden he gets a notification like iPhone memory full. Please manage your data storage or like pay for more. And I'm just like, are you fucking
This
kidding
guy
me?
has never deleted a picture of his grandchildren
Are
in
you
his life.
fucking kidding me? Like that's so yes.
If you delete the pictures, they die.
That was honestly one of my favorite moments. And then like, and it was all fine. It was all fun and games. And, you know, it's kind of annoying that to be in front of like, or behind the people that are like taking 4-minute videos. Like, bro, like, come on, you can hold it here. You don't have to hold it up here.
Right.
But the worst thing was this woman behind me. Like, and you know, I'm taking some pics. Of course, I got to fucking document that I'm there.
Yeah.
Are
Are those the Marshall stacks that I saw on your content? Are those like real or are they
No,
props?
that's like part of the set.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, that is fucking
I
Spinal
know.
Tap level beast mode.
It was like loud, and he was like
Yeah.
shredding for sure. But and he played the hits, and like I think he did Keep on Rocking in the Free World, kind of like as a courtesy because the sound blew out a few times. Like he never performs that.
Oh, right.
But that's a crowd favorite.
I mean,
He
duh.
did.
It's got to be his most famous song, right?
Probably yeah.
Or-
which has been definitely been called like literally the fucking Secretary of State played that while visiting Kiev in Ukraine the next
Wow.
day, which felt like some Veep shit where it's like, hey,
Yeah.
you know, we see what you're doing and we've said with democracy. So here's Neil Young, keep on rocking in the free world. The song's
Yeah.
about abortion.
Literally Selena Meyer ass moment.
For real. But this woman taps me on the back and I don't know if she was fucked up or just like entitled. And she got like more and more annoying as the night went on, but she goes, hey, can you send me your content? And I'm like, sorry, what?
How old is this person? What do you say?
Like 50s, 60s? Kind of attractive.
You know, nice. I will say, you know why? It's because as a boomer, she's watching you, a technology literate sniper, just
But I'm
get
not like this. I'm not like this.
Tarantino level fucking.
I'm not like this. I'm like this.
cinematography.
I'm like this. I'm trying to be respectful to people behind me. Hey, can you send me your content? And I'm like, what? And she's like, at first I was like, do you recognize me from throwing fits? Like, you want TF content? Because like, who calls photos you're taking a concert content,
That's
right?
that's mom brain.
And she goes,
Aunt brain.
she's like, no, her husband or the guy she was with tries to kind of like be like, yo, chill. And she's like, no, look, it's so good. Like, I really want it. Can you email it to me? And I'm like, yo, I'm not going to email you like 50 photos.
Right.
So like there's a break between songs. He's changing guitars. I'm like, turn you have AirDrop? And she goes, no, what's that? I'm like, turn it on. Like I can just give them to you.
Give
like,
me
right
your
now.
phone, woman.
And she's like, here, take my phone. Like figure it out. Can you figure it out for me? And I'm like going through her phone. I'm like, this is fucking weird.
You see anything
No.
tasty?
And then because then he started playing Powderfinger, which is one of my favorite Neil Young songs.
Okay.
So I'm like, we'll figure this out later. And I just give her phone back to her. She's like, no, wait, just take my email and we'll figure it out later. She fucking eventually gives me her email. I'm like, I'm not going to email you 80 photos and videos when I get home, you fucking psycho.
That is pretty entitled.
And like, she definitely didn't know kind of like, I think that she was there just with her mans because like when the sound went out, well, first of all, it was a really cool moment. The sound went out and then they were playing Into the Black, My, Hey, Hey.
Classic.
Hey, My.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still playing because the monitors, which they hear, are still on. And we're close enough where we can kind of hear those, but the big speakers are out. But they're still playing. And then the sound comes back in as he goes, rock and roll will never die.
Kind of
a very
perfect.
cool moment. And
Yeah.
like it added to like the unique nature of the performance. And it was, it wasn't polished, right? So everyone went fucking crazy. But she's screaming, this is amateur hour. And we're
Really?
like, yo, shut the fuck up.
Yo.
And then Jerry keep on rocking the free world. She goes, USA. And it's like, yo,
You should give her email to the NSA, bro.
I have her email. She works in like fashion a little bit. Like,
Wait, really?
I looked up like where she worked at.
Oh, but it wasn't something that you immediately recognized.
No,
But
it's like
you
a-
did your Googles.
Yeah, it's like a creative representative agency.
Okay. Real quick.
Yeah.
Rapid fire. Gunthead. Favorite Neil Young song if you have to pick one.
I can't.
Really?
I don't have one.
You don't have one?
No.
I know mine.
Okay, what is
It's
that?
After the Gold Rush, dude.
Okay.
That is a fucking all-timer.
I'm less of a 60s Neil guy and more kind of like in his like Crazy Horse. He
Mhm.
played a song from an album that like I once like kind of went with my dad on a business trip of his and we like road trip to like the Southwest. And one of the only CDs we had was Broken Arrow, which not the John Travolta flick. Great movie, by the way. But it's with Crazy Horse. He played a song, I think called Scattered from that. So that was really cool. And it was just great to be like, yo, like, oh, this is from the New Mexico trip.
How does your dad vibe out at a Neil Young concert? Does he like dance? Is he headbanging? Is he throwing up the horns? Like what's Pops doing?
He's kind of going like this, a little like swing. I mean, no one's like, no one,
Right,
like the
right,
hippie
right.
girls dancing.
Right.
At one point, he just yelled, smell the horse, which I thought was pretty fire.
Wait, is that like a thing that Neil fans say when it's a Crazy Horse show?
He has these like Neelisms that he claims are Neelisms, like it's all one song, man, which I've never heard before, but
Yeah.
maybe, it's like whenever he was seeing Neil Young back in the day, I was seeing Neil Young, like maybe that one thing stuck with him and then that's just like his Neil thing,
The next time anyone listening at home is doing ketamine, please yell out, smell the horse.
Smell the horse.
Speaking of women and emails, this is just a funny thing that is literally happening in real time. My mom clearly signed up to our Patreon as a free patron, but like forgot. So she has now been forwarding me like the emails that go to free page. So I just have, it's like forward from Mindy Schlossman, beautiful bodies. She goes, FYI, I just got this in my inbox. Maybe other unpaid casual listeners got it too. I'm like, okay. And then today I get Monday Musings forwarded from Mindy Schlossman. Lawrence, I got this in my email. Strange that I received this sent from my iPad. I'm like, wait, so
do you want, is she, well,
I think
I can
she-
look up if she's a patron.
what do you need? Her name? No, I think she's a free, I think, because there's no way that I'm like, must have signed up and forgotten, which is but now she's just forwarding me every Patreon email.
Can you type out her email? Or can you say it in mic?
I'm not going to say my mom's email, Mike. It's this. It's pretty easy for you to
Okay.
see. Let's see. But I'm like, Wait, so you did sign up? You didn't sign up? Like you forgot? Like I'm like, you don't need to forward every single one. I posted it.
She signed up
Yeah, see, there you go.
late last year. So
She
she's been a free patron.
She forgot, dude.
Her name is hilarious.
Let me see. Oh my god.
She put her name as
Mawa.
your hometown.
Dude, my mom rules. I'm gonna tell her all this. Like, I'm not. I hope everyone at home doesn't think that we're making fun at Mindy's expense. But I after that beautiful bodies, I literally said, "Did you sign up for a free Patreon account? That would be why you're receiving these." And I think she was like, "No, I didn't." But I'm like,
She did.
No, you did.
Yeah,
you did
she
it
did.
a year ago. And I guess they've maybe been going to spam, but have now been surfacing.
At least she didn't cancel.
No, my thing is like, yo, you can't throw 5 bones to the boys.
I know, for real.
She loves you.
It's money laundering.
Anyway, shout out all the moms out there that are fucking free patrons or
Yeah,
paid.
shout out to the moms and dads at the Neil Young Show.
Yo.
Just taking flash on video.
I think women of a certain age, apparently, if I had to just make a general assessment based on my mom and this woman behind you, they love content.
They do love content.
And there's a
how else are
lot
they
of
gonna
it
share
on patreon.com/throwingfits. I believe I didn't actually say that up top. I just said some Pornhub thing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Hobie Buchanan.
Yeah.
But yeah, Neil Young show was great. A great kickoff to the week, which ended with an Evan Kenori art show that we both attended.
So was that an art show or was that like a fashion party at an art gallery?
It was an exhibition opening. I think there's tremendous crossover, obviously, between the fashion and art worlds.
Mhm.
Most exhibition openings happen on Thursdays, and you can kind of like gallery hop and get
Oh, right.
free wine and cheese.
Right. There was some good
Andy
fucking
War-
cider flowing at
This
this,
is a
party.
big, this is a big Mr. Harrisism. Is he's like a story of his is that Andy Warhol lived off hors d'oeuvres for 15 years,
That's
just
I
like
mean,
at like art shows.
I mean, that was me and you at fashion parties
Exactly.
for a couple years,
2
not
years.
15.
But yeah, shout out Jane and JDJ World and
Jane Johnson,
wife
of Noah Johnson, aka Narc Dad, aka the palest motherfucker in fashion.
Yeah, motherfucker looking like an onion. He told me, he's like, hey, Evan thought it was really nice that you came up to him and introduced yourself. And I'm like, what did he? Why is that like transcending expectations? That I was just like, hey, what's up? I'm James from
That you were
Fitz. Nice to
polite?
meet you, dude.
I think if anything, I've been the kind of Evan. All right, here's the thing about Evan Kenori, right? You said it's like a cult, right?
well,
To some, well,
I think it's a signifier, especially in the Bay Area, that it's like, hey, don't worry, I'm cool, I'm chill.
right.
Yo, I'm chill.
Evan Kenori is San Francisco based. Am I
Yes.
wrong? Okay.
Or Bay based.
It is very expensive. Obviously, I think that there is value in the way that the clothes are made and the process in which they're made and the materials and this and that. I will say, I feel like that is a brand that either people are like obsessed with or maybe like me I don't want to say I don't give a shit about it. I just never even think about it unless I walk by the rack in like Dover Street, if I happen to be at Dover Street Market.
Was this your first time seeing, except on like Jonah Weiner, like seeing the clothes in person?
No, I know some people that have like some friends of ours, some fellow Johns enthusiasts that have like saved up for like the big purchase, which is just like a pair of trousers that again like could be a burlap sack or something. Like it's almost like it's like so artisanal that it's almost like it pulls a 180 and I'm like, it kind of looks cheap.
Smell the trow.
Yeah.
He was really nice. The
Yeah, how'd
clothes
that go?
Look, it was totally. I was like, why is that of note? Like, I just introduced myself and we had like 2 seconds of exchange and nice to meet you.
Is
Thanks for
this-
coming. And then
Is this the fucking bullshit still with us where it's like this fake reputation precedes us as being fucking jerks and haters and bozos and clowns?
well, look, if my partner is
Dickhead
out here
jocks.
publicly talking shit about
Good
the
point.
brand,
No, I mean, would you say I've been shit talking or it's like, it's not for me?
I think whenever it comes up, you give a really wet.
Oh, I'm dismissive.
Yeah.
Noah was about to, I got there like, honestly, you've been showing up to places like Lickety Split, really SEAL Team Fits in and out, which like I really appreciate as as the guy who like tends to linger. But I was there like, early and ready. And Noah was about to bring me over. He was like, I want to introduce you to Evan. And I wonder how that would have gone. But I didn't even get the chance because then he got like intercepted. And then the party filled up and, I was just catching up with, there was the entire menswear industry was at this opening.
Yo, Will Welch had a great move where he
yeah.
brought snack mix,
Yeah.
which I'm like, what a great move as a guest. In college, there was this dude that used to pull up to parties with a dozen donuts.
Really? Duncan?
Guess who was talking to a dozen bitches? That guy. Every single fucking time that he pulled up with a dozen donuts, it would be like, oh my God, can I get a little, can I get a hole?
Could the homies get a donut, or is it strictly
I
for the
wasn't
girls?
friends with this guy, but I respected what I guess we now call Riz.
Yeah,
Back then we
dude.
called seduction. No,
My man was looking to pipe some cream into those pastries.
Sexual seduction. Remember
funny-
that song?
Yeah, Snoop
Snoop Dogg?
Dogg. I never really was a huge sexual seduction fan.
It's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
Do we do outro music on these?
I forget. We can.
I don't know. We talked a lot. I mean, I'd rather it be like some fucking Neil fucking banger. What was funny about Will's snack of granola was that it was in the fucking like plastic, like
Trader
pretty
Joe's thing.
Yeah, the tin versus like I was like it would have been to me, and I don't know if he was like kind of like. I mean, to us, he was like presenting it kind of like as a bit because I think he knows that, you know, as two chuckle fucks, we would appreciate the kind of ridiculousness of that maneuver, even if like it could be perceived as Riz. I mean, Will is happily married. I was like, dude, if this was in a Ziploc bag and you pulled it out of like the fucking breast pocket, like it was a pocket square, that would have been like some real fucking magician / fucking clown shit.
I told Will, I was like, yo, your Met Gala Evan Kenory tuxedo looked fire.
It really did.
And then it's like, I put the chrome on the Kenory. It's like a Gunna lyric.
Yeah, he really did, right?
Like
or
if Gunna-
Action,
if-
Action Bronson is
Yeah,
what
if
we
Gunna
were
starts
saying.
wearing
Yeah.
Evan Kenory, then like, will you respect it? Or love it more, or love it, or not like, or like it?
If Wanna
If
wears
Wanna starts
Evan
wearing the
Kenory,
EK.
I don't think that will make any kind of.
I think
it
it
will
is
move
very-
my needle.
There's very much, especially in the Bay Area where it's full of fucking herbivores, right? You gotta signify this, like, yo, don't worry, I'm not a cop. Like, yo, chill.
Yeah.
Yo, I smoke weed. Yo, I do mushrooms. And an immediate way of doing that is by wearing some Evan Kenory. Even like the fucking ciderman was like, I was like, how do you guys make this? He's like, Evan loves cider. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. How did this happen? He's like, oh, well, you know, I walked into a wine bar and I was wearing Evan Kenory, and the fucking owner of the wine bar was like, Evan Kenory? Look at what I got the Evan Kenory. So I think it's just rich dad camions. It's like, it's the same shit.
Well, it's funny because like having had 1,000 pours of that delicious cider, I'm going to go on record and say something nice about Evan Kenory. Of the collabs that he's done, the only one I can think of is Trickers, but the best Evan Kenory collab is whatever this fucking cider brand was, because that shit was fucking delicious.
Yeah, I was drinking it just because it was really hot in there. And real quick, summer shirts, I know they've either touched down or they're on the way. There's a bit of a UPS thing, whatever, but don't worry, they will be in your hand soon and on your backs. Everyone in there was like, oh my God, it's so fucking hot, dude. It's so fucking hot.
Well,
It's
how
so
do you
fucking
dress
hot."
for an art opening? I don't really go to those.
Again,
so, like-
you think about these things in a weird way. I'm just like, just put clothes on. Bro.
No,
just
and-
get a fit off.
and
so
I did, but that included a sport coat, which like immediately went to
which
the coat
why would you
rack.
do that? It was like 70 degrees that day. So again,
It was
like,
fine outside. It was just in the fucking
you gotta think situationally. But like, you know, there's a dude wearing a fucking wife pleaser. Where I'm like, what the fuck? Like, he had taken off all his shit.
I know who that dude is, and that is not the first time that I've seen him do that at
Okay.
a variety of functions, which I think is like low key, like he's doing it as a move.
Maybe. Okay. But everyone was just like, the first thing said, oh my God, it's so fucking hot here, bro. It's so hot. And I was wearing the plum shirt and jeans and sneakers. And I was wearing the King Unk, Our Legacy Croc
dude.
cab slippers.
What was the review from the party goers
I
on
love
those?
them.
They're crazy.
Cam Hicks was like, where the fuck do I buy these? I was like, "No, it's good."
Yeah, dude.
But I felt great. I felt fine. And the easy, breezy, beautiful summer shirt, no layers, nothing on top. I was maybe a little chilly on the street.
Really?
But in the party, I was fucking Gucci.
To your credit, nary a sweat stain on that shirt either. You were
Everyone was
fucking-
dripping. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm good. I'm in the summer shirt.
When I said goodbye to Noah, I was like, yo, and Jane, I was like, beautiful gallery, awesome space, great party. Thank you so much for inviting us. And they sent out those handwritten invites, which were like such a nice touch.
Mine
and all
never
that.
came.
Oh, really?
I'm like, Noah, what the fuck are the details? He's like, bro, check the postcard. I'm like, it didn't come. He's like, all right, here, just take the screenshot.
But I said my one piece of constructive criticism is don't cheap out on the AC. And he's like, what are you talking about? It's not that hot. And I'm like, bro, you are literally bright red like a fucking tomato right now. Do not tell me that you are not sweating your fucking balls off in here.
Nice.
but great space. I think it's open to the public, right? People can just swing by. What's the address?
370 Broadway.
370 Broadway.
It is in Tribeca. Your favorite or least favorite neighborhood? I
Okay,
couldn't get a read on that.
later that night, Chuck and I went out to watch Knicks Pacers Game 6. Yo, by the way, congrats to the New York Knickerbockers on what I would deem a successful season, even if Jalen Brunson, I think, kind of handled it perfectly, which is like, no, this was not a success. This is not what we're here to do.
And
We're
don't
here to
worry,
win
Lawrence.
chips.
Don't worry, Lawrence. Next year, that's Orlando Magic's year. You got this, buddy.
Shut the fuck up. Anyway, so
What? That's your team.
no, it's
What's your team?
how many times are we gonna have you're gonna say this where I'm like, that was my team when I was a child because of Shaq and Penny. By the way, save inside the NBA. What the fuck?
I
dude?
know.
This is a disaster. I was reading so much shit about
Well, Ernie's a
wrestling.
company man, so it's really he doesn't want to leave TNT.
No, and when he does so much other stuff for TNT, he does fucking golf, he does fucking baseball. He's I think he's a big Braves guy. If I
Makes
if
sense,
I can,
yeah.
if
Makes
I can
sense.
track. Anyway, so Chuck and I are going out, and
You didn't go to Nancy's?
no, I don't know if Nancy's, because Nancy, shout out Nancy's Whiskey Tavern, the shittiest bar, but maybe the best bar in downtown New York.
Well, no, not downtown New York, in Tribeca. Also a cop bar, so like maybe you don't want to.
Well, it's literally right next to a precinct.
Yeah,
Though it's funny, like I never see any dudes in uniform in there.
because you can't drink in uniform, you fucking idiot.
Really?
These are all after work drinkers.
Sorry, I don't have a cop in my family. I wouldn't know.
But I guess you would be drinking in uniform, wouldn't you? Fucking
Yeah, truly. I'd be the bad lieutenant. Anyway, I guess I have this idea, this dream in my mind of like what I think Tribeca is, mainly because Jen and I try to go to the Odeon as much as possible. And it's one of those places where I just had a college friend in town who I hadn't seen in a long time. She's like, where should we go? Boom. I'm taking her right to the fucking Odeon. That's
yeah, you get your one trick pony. French onion soup, Budweiser martini.
Oh, and I will say French Ed is fantastic as well in terms of like great.
So when you think
established-
Tribeca, you think of one place and one place only.
Again,
right?
I am being honest,
Which
with,
is
like,
fine.
I have this right. I have and the Balloon Saloon,
Right.
which is honestly, if you've got anybody in your life, a loved one,
And what's
that-
the gentleman's club on Duane Street you love? Or no, Warren Street.
No, that closed.
Oh, did it?
What was that? Cheetahs?
No, I think it was like New York Dolls or something.
Oh, I was not a New York Dolls guy, but there was whatever. We don't need to get into this.
Okay.
Shout out Rick's Cabaret. Shout out Pumps. What the fuck was I gonna say? Right. Sure. Of course, you can say that I'm very specific in my destinations when I'm in that neighborhood. With that said, it wasn't until I tried to fucking get 2 seats for me and my boy at a fucking sports bar that I realized that Tribeca is just the fucking West Village.
Flash dancers downtown.
Flash dancers
on Murray Street.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
It's funny because again, you're just equating, and look, this is just how your little brain works. You're equating Odeon and Tribeca and like Taylor Swift and right.
Taylor Swift.
Lives in Tribeca. Franklin
Taylor
Street.
Swift is not even remotely entering the fucking mental gymnastics I'm doing in my mind to make Tribeca cool.
Okay, Tribeca, such an up and coming neighborhood.
I did not even say up and
That's
coming.
that's some Real Housewives of New York.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Yeah, Tribeca, it's just too rich, bro. And like you were like, oh, I'd love to live in Tribeca. I'm like, that would suck.
And then
That would fucking suck.
And I immediately just said, actually, what I mean is I would just like to be rich enough to afford Tribeca. I don't know if I would live there. My richest friends live in Tribeca. So like that's again, I'm just like,
I know. I went to school, so my high school was in Tribeca, and it was nice back then. I mean, it was really shitty. I had a friend in elementary school that actually lived on Warren Street, I think 1 block away from Flash Dancers, which I think it was called something different.
he was
back
born
then.
in Flash Dancers.
And it was near like Tenton Trails. In high school, somebody got murdered outside of that strip club. It wasn't even like a gun or
tipper.
stuff. No, somebody took a concrete block, picked up off the street, and smashed their head in.
Holy fucking
I think it was just
shit.
like a fight that spilled out into the street.
Yeah, clearly.
Tribeca, like I think people have this romanticized notion of it. I think it is like goals, Tribeca goals, like rich mom goals.
I guess you're right. Maybe Jenna has rubbed off on me in that regard because she definitely is all about that. Like, I want to retire and be a rich dog mom type shit, which I get.
I just
her-
don't
that's
think
her
like
fucking
it doesn't
dream.
seem very livable.
Oh,
There's no real bodegas. Like
Sure,
you said,
that's a great
you know,
point.
Every restaurant is like a huge, rich destination spot. There's no like hood Chinese spot. There used to be on a bunch on Chambers, and there still are actually. There's a Domino's, Pakistani tea house.
Right,
Shut down though.
Yeah.
That was always a great affordable option. It's just like fucking. You know, it's Tribeca filled up so that Hudson Yards could come into existence. Right?
Ooh.
It's just like the billionaires need their playground neighborhoods, and like Tribeca's full.
Yeah.
So we need Hudson Yards.
Oh.
And it is like it's like the West Village Tribeca feeder system. Like you don't want to fucking hang out with West Village people, bro.
It's funny you talk about people I don't want to hang out with because there was another funny thing that happened at the Evan Kenori art show
what's that?
opening, whatever, which is you know, I'm like, you know, making my way through the party and, you know, seeing friends come in and wanting to say hi or say bye to somebody who's leaving. And I found myself on the cusp of what I didn't realize was all of the fucking, you and all of your fucking tennis bros talking about tennis. And while I definitely wasn't welcomed in that conversation because I'm not a tennis bro, I'm like, oh, I don't want to even remotely breach this fucking circle. This is, I'm like, I can't believe you guys are fucking you guys are fucking talking shop in the middle of the party.
This is great to know.
Why?
Now I know what to talk about when I want you to just not inject yourself into the conversation and close talk to the person I was talking to.
Luckily, I saw Kathleen and I wanted to thank her in person for all the hospitality that Chickies Vintage has shown us recently. So I was like able to kind of like, you know, divest from the tennis bro fucking
Right.
That was,
I mean,
there's
what
a
is-
whole, I mean,
I'm
there's
sorry,
so
I'm-
many of you, dude, in menswear. It's
There's
crazy.
there's a lot of us, and I'm trying to organize and I'm trying to like mobilize.
attorney.
Huh?
You should do attorney.
Well, I'm trying to like figure out how we can like. I'm like, I'm like, fellas, what do we want? Court time. When do we need it? Now.
you guys suck.
So I'm like talking to Sam Hine. I'm like, yo, we gotta like put together a list of us. Like we need we need to be represented. We need representation. And I'm sorry that we're talking about something that you don't feel like you can inject yourself into.
I'll be honest. I definitely was like, oh, I'm not even going to try because I'm already feeling excluded.
That's crazy that you didn't try because I've seen you try on flimsier grounds
What
to
would be-
inject yourself into the conversation.
What would be
and, like,
flimsier grounds?
dominate. Well, it's just like, you know, making it more about like whatever you want to talk about is, I guess.
Oh,
what I'm
like
saying.
bending the conversation to my will.
Yes.
You know what you got? You know what I would love actually, and this is something that I feel like has been we've danced around this, but like of all the menswear tennis bros, there is a clear, at least as an outsider, there seems to be a clear power rankings, right? And you guys, the reason I think attorney would be great is there needs to be a definitive, kind of like an ATP ranking. And it's funny also talking to you guys independently where like one guy's like, oh yeah, like that dude sucks, I'm the best. You talk to another guy, it's like, nah, I'm better than him. I'm not the best. That dude is gassing himself up. He's trash.
So you do talk to all these guys about tennis
Independently, because a lot of you guys are playing each other and I see it on Instagram and I like to stir the pot.
Are you? Well, you are the biggest gossip I know. Are you like, oh, yo, he said he's actually better than you?
No, I asked that person. I'm like, yo, you played whoever. I'm
So
like,
what's your sense? What's your sense of who are the big three? Fed,
so I think the big three.
Joker, Rafa.
Well, no,
Not correlating like, oh, he's crazy on clay. He's the Rafa. Just
right,
like,
right. No,
who
no,
are the big three?
All right, the big three, and this is again just based off of like anecdotal evidence coming from people jockeying for position in the big three. Noah J claims that he is like one of the nicest.
So he claims that.
That's what I'm saying. But this is all I've never seen you guys fucking hit.
Well,
right?
I'm playing with him on Fridays. Well, I will report back.
Because you guys have never played, right?
Yeah, because he's old and hurt his shoulder, and he doesn't live in New York City.
That's fair. He did. I do remember that he was sidelined for a minute as an old man. Though, isn't he our age?
He's older.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a year or two, whatever. We're the same.
I think he's 40.
Oh, he is? Okay. And then I think I've heard that Pemberton is fucking nice.
He's good.
a big, tall guy, so probably big server, I would imagine.
Heavy spin.
Yeah?
Heavy. The ball's on you in a fucking second.
Who's got the best net game? Of anyone you've played, is it you?
I don't know.
Because haven't you said that your short, what do you call short game? Net game?
Net game. What the fuck?
Your short game is fucking weak, dude. You're a short stroker.
It was, but then I was playing with Gallagher and Pemberton on last week, and my net game was fucking strong. I was like putting it deep in the corners or just like boop with the touch.
I'll tell you off mic, but someone said something interesting, which is they said they basically were like, I'm gonna paraphrase, but it's like, I don't like all this doubles bullshit. I'm trying to play one-on-one. Is that how a lot of people feel?
Yeah, but you kind of had to play doubles to like, well, one, if you play doubles in New York, the rules are you get 2 hours court time. If you're just playing singles, you get 1 hour.
Wow.
But playing doubles, like it has its drawbacks and its merits, but like ultimately you're just going to hit the ball less. And if you're the better one on your team, the strategy, rightfully so, is like hit it to the worst player,
right
right?
to the dweeb.
Keep it away from the guy who fucks.
Top spin that shit to the fucking virgin.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, but it's interesting to extrapolating the macro observation here.
Yeah.
It's interesting to hear and to see and experience and hear firsthand, secondhand, like
There's shit
how
talk.
people talk about other people and
Oh,
how
yeah.
people talk about themselves.
Oh,
Because tennis is a very, like David Foster Wallace wrote about all this about how it's chess and boxing. It is a very lonely game. You can't like your opponent, you can't get mad at them because they either beat you clean or you fuck up yourself.
well, it's a lot of it is mental. No,
So it's so mental. Like you're on an island out there.
Yeah.
Like, you're never screaming at your opponent. You're screaming at yourself.
Yeah.
I guess Medvedev is like the one guy that like he like fucks with people and does like kind of like bozo shit to like get under their skin, and people hate him for that. But otherwise, it's like you can't blame anyone but yourself.
True. The unforced error will be the death of your game.
Yeah, and when someone like beats you, they beat you clean.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see. And I have tried to. I'm not really a shit talker, so
Right.
I've tried to like not really engage in like shit talking again. I'm trying to mobilize and get us free court time.
It's also group hang. It's a fun group hang, and it's an active group hang.
Well, it's cool because it's like I like that. You show up. It's a relatively simple game. You have a stick and you have a ball, right? And you have some water, and you just like dump all your shit on the ground, and you just fucking
You make
run
it
around
sound
for
like
an
it's
hour.
stick ball.
Hey, you guys want to go play
how
some
many
stick ball?
how many rackets do you bring to a court when you're playing?
I bring one because I'm not a fucking fancy boy.
Oh yeah,
But then
who's got the most rackets?
Uh,
Gallagher.
He brings two. I don't know.
That two to me seems like, because God forbid, like what happens if you pop a fucking
If you pop
string?
a string, then you're fucked.
Yeah.
But I only own, and I did that, and I had to bring my like racket from like my teenager years.
Yeah.
To play with Pemberton and Gallagher. Anyway.
Wait, my final points of
Yeah.
gossip around the menswear tennis universe is that there is one person that will go unnamed that everyone agrees is the fucking worst, which is hilarious. And then there was another thing where there is someone who everyone is like, oh, he spends the most money on gear. So it's like the John's enthusiasm has like made its way into like the tennis equipment portion of that
Yeah, but
person's
that's so
fucking
fucking
budget.
whack. Everyone's like, yo, like what shoes should I get? I'm like, bro, I went to the store and they're like, these are the only shoes we have in your size. So there's like the shoes I've had for like years.
They don't
tennis
need,
Johns
you don't
are
need new
ugly.
traction.
Tennis Johns are ugly as
No,
hell.
no,
Like,
I mean like rackets and shoes and like that kind of stuff. Not like a full dry fit, Rafa capris and all that shit.
I mean,
Nadal capris, not Rafa the cycling brand.
most of us are just like show up in like an old ratty tee and like Nike shorts, right?
Yeah.
And like whatever shoes you have. You can get a little out of control. Like people can get obsessive with like gear, treat it like a fucking ALD customer, be like, oh, like I need the most. Whatever.
Or I would even say, because like, let's not be rude here. It's just like the golf guy mentality. Obviously, can be easily transferable to tennis.
Well, the
fucking
homophobic,
fishing,
the homophobic phrase
anything.
for it is gear queer, right? Where it's like the guys that they're not even about like the experience; they're about like the accumulation.
Oh, I'm a gear queer dude with everything, 100%.
I know that, especially gear. Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun start off to the weekend. I left and I didn't stay out late like you did because the next day, well, not because I just didn't. The next day, I had a wonderful day
Talk to me, Jimbo.
with Asher with the Big Hog. Apologies to whoever makes that. That like makes someone uncomfortable in the Discord. I don't know, whatever. My boy is getting married later this year, and I got roped into, of course, helping him out with picking the fits that he wants to have on his big day. Both the big day and the welcome reception the night before.
When you say roped in, you're just the most qualified bro. Like that's
Yeah.
who else is going to be that person?
Yeah, and at first it's kind of like, oh, okay, I got to spend a Saturday shopping, like fucking kill me. But this guy doesn't live in New York, so he came in like for this. Obviously he's doing a bunch of other stuff, but it was so fun to be like shopping with very little skin in the game, right? Although I will say, you bring a lion to the jungle and you can't expect him to not kill. I was doing some purchasing myself.
Oh, really?
Let's
Let's talk. Where did you go? Okay.
So
Where
first
did
we
you
went
guys
to
go?
Stofa. First we went to Stofa. Shout out Nick and Agesh.
New store is beautiful.
Beautiful. The customer experience that Nick provides on the made to measure stuff in the back is phenomenal. And I, his patience, his knowledge, his kind of like guidance, his expertise.
Yeah.
He was offering from like the, from the Stofa side. And I was kind of like, Asher, like think about, the wearability of this. Actually think that, going double breasted, but keeping casual is entirely possible. Like the way you do shit, right? Wear it open, don't wear a tie, obviously, make the shoes funky. Maybe a different kind of color, but like a more traditional cut in the double-breasted situation.
And that Stofa double-breasted suit, which has become like a signature for them, is so easy to break up into separates too. So you got to think about it that way.
I'm not a big separates guy. I mean, maybe the jacket for sure, but just throwing it over some jeans.
What about
under
just
Jeffrey
the
Epstein
pants as some trout?
under Jeffrey Epstein shit? But
Anyway,
so Stofa, it's pretty easy, right? It's made to measure. They've like I think 3 suit models.
yeah,
Someone call them that?
it's not like the world isn't your oyster in like a good way in that like if we can set the parameters, like we can like laser focus in and nail the details.
So it's like, all right, model, 1, 2, 3, and then kind of like fabric.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be summery.
Yeah.
Let's go linen. Let's go non-traditional color, but still not anything that's like a fun suit or like an event suit, right?
No.
You can't just throw the jacket on when you're going to dinner or wear the trow and just a shirt or
You're
whatever.
not Walt Frazier, bro. You're getting married.
Exactly. So I think we settled on something beautiful, kind of a classic color combination, but the colors themselves are in hues that are like a little left of center.
So the first stop being Stofa was like he got his wedding suit or the suit for the reception.
So I think he realized pretty quickly, or it became pretty obvious that we were shopping for the reception the Friday night before.
Okay.
And I was like, just because it's the Friday night before,
the welcome reception.
I was like, bro, don't do separates. Like, get a suit, commit. Now you have a great suit for the rest of your life.
True.
That is like, I was like, the shape is amazing, the fabric's amazing, and again, the experience with Agesh and Nick, second to none, so good that I ended up copping a long sleeve polo myself.
I was going to ask. So you came away with a John
and some shoes too.
Wait, what shoes did you buy?
Not the slippers, not the kind of like sneaker. So they only have 3.
You bought the Gilly laced one, yeah?
Yeah.
Sick.
In like a,
I love those. Hell yeah,
in like
bro.
a taupe. In like a taupe. They're taupe.
That's nice, dude.
Yeah.
Let's bring those to Pity Uomo, baby.
I'm not gonna have them in time. I have to wait for them to restock in July, and that's also when I'm gonna pick up the.
Oh, you like
polo.
pre-ordered them?
Well, in my size and that colorway, they're not gonna have them until they restock.
Gotcha.
And I didn't want the 4 model because who the fuck knows who's touched those with their.
I guess
stinky,
it just
with their
depends.
stinky toes.
It's funny you say that because, like, speaking of being a gear queer myself, I'm like, honestly, dude, I need to walk out the store wearing them.
Well,
so I would have
Asher-
taken the 4 model.
Asher was kind of like, I came all this way, and he also got the slippers,
The Grecians.
yeah. And I'm sorry. I hope I'm not, Asher. I'm sorry if I'm like giving away your whole shit, but. And I was like getting advice from his fiance like on the side, just be like, make sure it's not this. Like this is he doesn't know what she's wearing, but she's like,
right,
this is what I'm wearing. So like, make sure it kind of like doesn't clash, but is like, I don't want to be matchy. I really love his eyes. Make sure they like maybe there's something that can like make them pop.
Dude, this is a new role that we're inventing. This could be a business. The John's planner, right?
The John's consigliere.
The John's consigliere. There needs to be a liaison between the bride and the groom to make sure that everything is on point because, like, right, it's bad luck to know what your bride is going to wear. Dude.
The shredding planner.
That's fucking Neil, dude.
I know. Stofa was amazing. And that was my first time in the space, and it really is just like, it's a must. It's a must hit. And they obviously have like, the regular retail stuff up front, but the made to measure experience was blissful.
If you're looking for, we're talking a lot about shorts. If you want a wide, beautiful, flowy short in like a suiting fabric that I believe is also machine washable, but are not feeling like the long boys that me and Jimbo have been kind of like casually pushing, you should go to Stofa because I got some wide boy short swangers from them that are fucking. I told Nick at the opening. I think you were out of town, but I told Nick.
I was at Asher's bachelor party in Fort Blickerdale.
You were in Fort Blickerdale. I told both Agesh and Nick independently. There is not a John that I either wear in person or have put on the gram that more people have asked me to ID than those short, wide, pleated drawstring suiting fabric shorts that they are like also well known for.
My next suit might very well be the double-breasted.
You got to do it
from
dude.
Stofa.
It's beautiful. I need one.
Beautiful.
Good to travel with, bro. You could fucking roll that shit up.
You got pity brain.
I know. Well, no, I literally.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, it's good. And it's like modern, but like definitely last your
can't-
lifetime.
You can't get those lapels anywhere else.
But
That's a
actually, what the Big
unique
Hog did say, he's
design.
like, yo, like, because we went to the second spot and same thing where he got, that was made to measure, this was custom. He's like, it's crazy. Like, I just spent the most money I've ever spent on clothes my entire life, and I'm walking out with nothing.
yeah.
He's like, I wish that I could fucking have like something.
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
He also got some shirts from Stofa to go with. He went full Stofa, and I think that like you can like the whole cohesion of that brand is so on point and so dialed in.
Mm-hmm.
Everything they do works with each other. At the same time, like the polo I got, I was like, I'm gonna wear this with jeans. This like ivory knit. Gonna work with every single pair of blue jeans
Nice.
I own.
Hell yeah.
Then we go to J Muser.
Mm-hmm.
Which this was for the big day. So it was kind of like more traditional cut and details, but maybe in like a slightly left of center color. So like not navy or black or gray, but like something fun. And I'm not going to give away necessarily what it was, but this was very like boom, 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 boom. It was with Johan, the
Nice.
skinny Swede.
Beautiful man.
Jake and Matt it was the weekend, so they're working. And yeah, beautiful, beautiful skinny man. And, this was kind of like, to his credit, actually, like, look, I don't want to go like wide leg. It feels like a little, on trend of the moment. A little more, I want to go a little more trim, a little more, not like skinny, but that was just another experience where he's getting like the full measurements.
Yeah.
Like you feel like a real fucking man. And
I believe we have an entire YouTube video of this experience.
I'm
that you
sitting
can
off
watch.
to the side like a proud papa,
Oh, yeah.
just being like, this is fucking beautiful.
Did you have to hop in and maybe like dial some things back or provide some like guardrails?
Both with in both times, I was kind of like, I don't think Asher was ever getting like railroaded or steamrolled,
And not losing the plot on it.
but I was kind of like, Asher, like, let's take a step back. Like, what do you like? How do you feel?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? And I think it was kind of like walking away from the edge of like, do you really want to go pistachio? Like, you really want a pistachio linen suit? Like,
I mean,
what are you
shit.
doing here?
I
Or
don't
being
know.
like, or kind of
Maybe.
something we talk about where it's like, look, this is a swatch. It looks great
Right.
as a 6x6 inch square, but think about it blown up, right? It gets a lot brighter.
Yes, sir.
So maybe we go away from like the more electro pop colors
Yeah.
and get like, trust me, like it looks dark now, but in the Vermont sunshine, it's gonna look fucking beautiful, bro.
Riddle me this. Do you take me to be your bride? Or do you take me to be your groom? I don't know. I'm just saying you could have like a Riddler suit very easily. That those sounded like the Joker. Fuck. I wish we could cut all of that out. That was
Yeah.
terrible. I'm sorry to the people at home that pay for me.
Chef, do your
to
job.
be stupid.
But yeah, it was just great. And like, he ended up and like choosing the shirt. So he chose a color that is like slightly unorthodox, but I think is beautiful.
Nice.
But then the shirt, it's like, what are you gonna do? Because plain
White.
white isn't gonna work. It's
Oh,
not gonna work. Well, it would work, but it's a little like, come on, let's have some fun here.
okay.
He couldn't go ivory because that was kind of what he was thinking with the Friday night.
Okay.
We went a very, very faint blush.
Oh, interesting.
Like,
I like that.
looks white, but if you look a little closer, and especially against the suit coloring, it's going to be fantastico.
Is he going to get a nice little base tan before he puts that blush on?
I don't know about that, but he's definitely hitting the gym.
Okay.
Shredding. It's shredding season. Shredding planner.
Self-improvement, baby.
We were like, he was like, what tie should I get? I was like, let's wait till we get the suit. Like, let's wait till you're back here for your second fitting before you can like really commit to a tie. Even though like, I think J Muser makes some of my favorite ties out there.
Oh, they make great ties. I believe they've been in the dumper a few times.
He was
Or
also
maybe
like,
once.
I might go fun with the ties, so I might go to Drake's.
Drake's for sure.
Yeah, great day. And footwear, same thing. I was like, let's wait till we get the suit in hand, and then maybe we can figure out like, do we want to go tobacco brown? Do we want to go kind of like mahogany brown? Do you want to go black for the shoes? I don't know.
I know
It was just great. And again, it was like
Yeah.
one of these things where I'm just like, yo. At first, it was like, oh, here's another fucking 5-hour chore, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, obviously.
It was a lot of fun, and like it's fun being like,
The expert and providing service like we do for these people, beautiful people. every
yeah,
week.
but kind of like you're not the expert, right? Because like Johan's there or Nick
Oh,
and Agesh are
right,
there,
right,
so
right.
you're kind of like
Your
you're kinda
sounding
like,
board.
You're kind of like, look, let's think about this critically, right? Let's not just like, sure, you're immediately drawn to that, you immediately want that, or you're thinking like, oh, that's what grooms wear in the wedding, but like take a step back, like
You
how do
have
you
the
actually,
big hog, but don't go full hog. Let's think critically.
let's think about like why you actually are drawn to this, or like how is this going to look
Yeah.
on the night of or on the day of?
Was P. Johnson on the hit list at all? Because
It was just the two.
because I was going to say we mentioned Drake's a little bit, but yeah, for anyone listening at home who's like, it is wedding season. I'm sure there's a lot of betrothed listening, I think Patrick Johnson is also a fantastic option. Maybe you hit the Salman Amel fucking trunk show that's happening on Memorial Day weekend. I am about to do.
I did tell Asher real quick. I was like, "Yo, it's too bad you're not here for the Factors trunk show."
But is that like he doesn't want to be married in Factors? I don't think.
Well, maybe that's for the Friday night fit, where it is like a suit,
Bell
like a
bottoms.
super beautiful suit in like a fun colorway. Right?
Yeah, I'm about to do a very similar thing for my friend Matt, whose engagement party to his beautiful bride to be Claire was this weekend. I kind of had a fuck up because I assumed that the engagement party was like a kind of like, and they're younger than us, me and Jenna, and some other friends that we went with. And I kind of just assumed it was going to be more like a party vibe, and not that it wasn't. But
Well, what is not a party vibe for you?
yeah, it's fair. Right? And I wore grills to the engagement party, which then I'm immediately meeting grandmas and aunts. And I hope that people weren't offended that I was smiling with my mouth closed.
Why did you? Okay, did you not fish hook in the engagement photo? Like,
No.
congrats, man.
No, well, it's not right. It's not my engagement.
But you wore the grills,
yeah,
which is a very look at me maneuver.
And my fuck up was that I did not bring any type of receptacle, so I didn't want to have loose grills in my pocket. So despite
why not?
Very much pissing off my wife, they did stay in the whole time. And listen, when there was a more appropriate crowd, they got flashed a little bit, and it was the party trick that I've always hoped that they
you were
could
the center.
become.
You were the center of attention at Claire's engagement party. That's really cool, Lawrence.
No, actually,
that's really sick.
when I was getting
gonna move you a little more further down the self-involvement line of the matrix
when
here.
I was getting dressed, I was ironing a pair of white jeans, and Jen is like, "Don't wear white jeans to an engagement party where presumably the bride to be is gonna be in white," and she was.
The grill, on the other hand,
Yeah.
polish that bitch up.
But ahead of the engagement party, my friend Matt hit me up for some options. He's a creative guy. He loves to skate, and he basically wears like head to toe Palace and Carhartt and Dickies and Vans. And I sent him some options about where he could go to get engagement party appropriate, like, I don't know, polos and things of that nature. Sent him both CHCM and Colbo.
Wait, just the engagement party?
He was like, I mean, I could read the text, but he basically was like, there's no skate brands really making the kind of shit that I think I should be wearing to this. And I was like, you don't say. So I sent him some options. It was funny to then see him, and I'd be like, and immediately I'm like, you did not take any. He goes, no, I didn't have time. But
What was okay?
I didn't send him link. I just sent him go to these stores, do some shopping.
Okay.
He also didn't know like what his budget was or anything like that, which honestly, back to your point about Asher, and then this will be the final point we get out of here, that I'm going to deal with Matt, because I am going to take him wedding suit shopping. Once they figure out the location and the timing and the dress code or lack thereof, and I have some fucking idea of what he wants to look like, asking the budget of what that person wants to spend really is the most crucial piece of information for this. And I don't know how often people hit you up on IG to be like, hey, I want some wedding suit advice. But it's like the big question here is like, what are you trying to spend? What are you willing to spend?
Yeah. Yo, can I get this beautiful Stofa suit, but something that looks exactly like that for $50?
Yeah, truly. Fucking Reddit brain over here. But
yeah, I mean,
I'm excited to do.
But it is your big day, and it is like kind of it is an excuse to splurge, right? Like obviously the wedding is going to cost you a fucking pain out your ass,
unless your wife's, or well, if you're in a heterosexual relationship, your wife's parents are paid for it.
Good save.
Your in-laws. I went Patrick Johnson, made to measure. And you know who my Johnson consigliere was for my fitting was Jeremy. Jeremy took me. But it is always, I think, good to have a homie or homies with you. And I cannot wait to do the same thing that you did and be the John's planner, the John's consigliere for my friend Matt. And I'm going to make sure that my man is looking fucking right and tight for his big day. No matter how much money he spends, no matter what the fucking climate is.
I think there's two
relish the opportunity to tap in.
There's two ways to approach it, right? You can either be the guy that's like taking options off the table or putting options on the table, right? And it kind of depends on who you're shopping with.
Oh, this is going to be, I'm setting the fucking table.
Okay, relax. This isn't your day. But if he's like, is he the guy? Again, it doesn't work with you, so never mind.
What?
But no, it's like, you know, with Asher, I was kind of like bringing options to the table. I was like, what if you did traditional but untraditional coloring? Or what if you did untraditional suit but in like a very sexy kind of like matte or sheen, like a black tropical wool where you'll be nice and cool, but but it is like sexy.
Yeah, I plan on
Right?
doing a similar thing.
Yeah,
as that.
so
and I'm not going to
versus
dress
the-
someone.
Versus the guy that's like, I want all this, and then you have to kind of be like, bro, you can't do the pistachio linen double breasted blah 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 blah.
I like being the guy where it's like if every option is like potentially available, like let me fucking help you dial this in.
You're just gonna do it for him, aren't you?
No, and it's also I think it's and again,
Which
I think
maybe
it's
wants that. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll have to figure that out. But I also, like again, I relish the opportunity to be that guy in that role.
Right.
I think it's fun.
a lot of fun.
I really think it's a beautiful day, and you don't need to be like the best man or groomsman or like in the wedding party to like take on this role. It really is like who is your friend that you trust the most when it comes to like their taste level, which is something we'll talk about with W. David Marks tomorrow.
That's right.
The four pillars of good taste.
On the next episode, a guest episode of the only podcast that matters, Chef, take us out.
See you guys.